Welcome back, everybody. Crow here with another build. I've been mulling over this one for a while, but the Devil Gundam, or Dark Gundam from G Gundam, has been one of my just overall favorite designs, and so that's what we got today. Fairly straightforward build for the most part. It's your classic heavy tank. I mean, if you look at the AP, you're looking at, over 17k. Hard to shut this thing down. The only thing that's really given it any trouble when I've used it in PvP has been missile boats, and they're kind of annoying to fight with everything anyway. But we're going to start off with the weapons. We have the Bad Cook. Originally I was using the Chain Chin, which is what the PvP footage will be showing, but I found that the flamethrower kind of fits with the whole Devil aesthetic a little bit better, and is also really annoying and hides the fact that you're charging up your cannons on the back. Now, at the left arm, we went with the WLT-101 Coral Oscillator because big-ass beam blade, another thing that kind of fits the whole over-the-top G Gundam sort of aesthetic. And we have twin diffuse laser cannons on the back, the VP-60 LCDs. These do just some amazing all-around damage, and if you can hit with both charge attacks, you're basically going to lock in an instant stun, which makes it just very stupid to use. I love it. But as far as the actual cosmetic look of this Gundam, which is probably the only Gundam I'll ever make that uses paint treads, we're looking at the ALBA head. It still is the one thing that gives me the most Gundam-like vibe, so that's what we went with there. We went with the HAL 826 core because it gives us that big, bulky look that the Devil Gundam is known for, given that it's really more of a mobile armor. With the arms, we went with the TIAN-LAOs, just because, again, going for that bulky look, there's not really anything nearly as bulky as these things. For the legs, originally I went with the Varels and made this a quad build, but ultimately went with the actual tank treads. You could get by making it bipedal with the VE-42As, and if you change some of the weapons around, even the desert legs. But I went with the tank just because it's a big beefy boy. Which means you also don't have to worry about the boosters. You just have to worry about what you're dealing with in terms of the FCS, which I have the ABBOT selected because, quite frankly, this thing is slow. Most of the time you're probably going to get rushed close range, although you could probably get by switching to a more medium or long range assisted one. Haven't done enough testing to really decide that yet, but that's what I'm going for. And with our generator, we just went with our Coral generator. It does the best for us all around. Really not a lot to the build. It's big, it's tanky, it hits really hard when it hits, and it confuses the enemy with the flamethrower, so there's not really too much you have to worry about in that regard. And terminal armor, because Devil Gundam was incredibly hard to take out in the series, so we figured might as well give it one last ditch thing to keep it away from death. Now, on to the actual paint. Not a very hard build to paint. There are a few decals which are just sort of haphazardly placed, which we'll get into in a little bit. For the head, we have our white, which we use for the rest of the build as well, and our gold that we use for the rest of the head. There's only two colors that really matter. The red and everything else does get shared across, but those colors are really just whatever you want to make of them. The core is where we use that red more, and then our blue. These do make up our two main colors for the upper torso. Very easy to just throw this one together. Don't have to do a lot of decal work on the upper part outside of the arms, which I did decal with white. More of the colors for the arms: red, gold, white. Legs are where it got a little bit different. We're using this sort of purple, I guess, is what you would call this. For the main part of it, we went with a sort of a lighter shade, bordering more towards gray for the rest of it. And then we just mixed in more of the gold and red for the rest of it. With the arms, we just use more of that white and gold. And then I think it's just a random color that was left over from another build that I copied, so ignore that for the right arm unit. Now, decals, nothing terribly special. With the arm, as you can see, it's just a bunch of the white squares poorly covering what I could. The legs, a little bit different. I used the red square to give sort of that jaw look. And then we use some of these shapes to get the eyes, the forehead, and more of the forehead. Just try and emulate some of the Gundam face look that the lower torso had on the Devil Gundam. And with that being said, that's pretty much the gist of building this thing and, you know, doing the design work. So we'll get you guys a code real quick. And I will wrap up and show you guys some of the PvP matches I did with it back before I changed to the flamethrower. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Let me know if there are any other builds you would like to see. Next time around, we should be going with my Starscream build. I really like how it turned out, so that'll be the next video. Thanks for watching.